All right, so a lot of you were asking what you should do to warm up and cool down to make sure that you're feeling your best when you're doing class and private sessions. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I do to warm up and cool down to make sure you got the best possible kicks and just feel the best. So follow along. So the first thing is 2 to 3 minutes of skipping just to get yourself warm, and for mobility especially, getting your temperature high is really important. So first thing you're gonna do, warm up for about 2-3 minutes. Just get your body temperature up, just get used to it. Okay, so after you're feeling a little bit warm like that, next is starting to get the mobility up for the kicks, right? So first thing I like to do is leg swings, forward and sideways. So it starts to get you used to dynamic stretching. So instead of just reaching for your toes and holding, so static stretching, we want to do dynamic stretching to get our body used to that explosiveness, right? Because that's how you're actually going to be using those muscles while kicking. So what we do is leg swings, 10 each side. You can do them either just straight in the air or holding on. I actually do prefer this one. So you get the hip flexors warm too. So you can do 10 on this side and 10 on this side. So once you're done front to back, you're gonna go side to side. All right, so that's leg swings. Next thing I like to do is warm up the rotation of the legs. So the way I like to do this is, I don't really know the name of it to be honest, but I call it standing hip rotations. So the way that that works is you get your leg up on a surface where you can turn it over easily. So let's say here, right? Kind of start with your leg turned out and then pretty much just mirroring that tie kick, right? So turn over, squeeze the hip through and come back from there. So in this one, you almost want to exaggerate the hip thrust, similar to what you do for a Muay Thai kick, but you want to squeeze that glute forward, exaggerate that thrust so that you can get the best possible turnover. Then when you start kicking, you'll feel a lot looser. So same thing here, you're gonna go for a 10 on each side. Now, if you notice that one of your sides is a little bit tighter, so for example, for me, my right leg is a lot tighter than my left. So what I really want to do is slow that down. You're going to hold for a second. You can add that little hold at the end just to solidify it. And then you can do more reps. You can even do an extra set. Cool. So that's standing hip rotations. If your hamstrings are super stiff for Muay Thai, this is the warm-up for you. So the warm-up is called elephant walks. What you want to do, you want to start by reaching for your toes, but instead of just reaching here statically, you want to kind of grab on and cycle one leg at a time. So you bend both your knees and you straighten your other knee. Just like that, hold for a second, and then the other side. So starting to get your hamstrings dynamically ready for the demands of kicking. Try to get that full knee lock out. And this should help your hamstrings open up so you can get your kicks flying. And the last thing I like to end off with is just 90-90s. So pretty much just exploring that range of motion. Now, ideally what you want to do is when this knee touches the ground, you want to kind of keep this one on the ground and then open up as much as you can. So you want to actively explore as much rotation as you can instead of just like doing it. You'll see some people just do it for the sake of doing it. You want to actually like actively explore. And even if you got to put your hands down, try to actually like actively explore your range of motion, and it'll help you get a lot more out of your 90-90s. All right, so now we're ready for the session. This is Crew Kevin. He's going to be helping me out today. So what are we working on today, Coach?
Just basic checking and returning. Want to get Prav's footwork nice and fluid. So we'll push the pace and see how he does today.
Let's do it. Yeah, I didn't warm up for that, but it's all good. All right, so we survived, barely, but we're here, we made it. So I want to ask Coach a couple questions. So what do you think is the importance of warming up? Like, how important is warming up? And let's say someone doesn't really know how to start. What do you think they should be focused on?
So I like to keep my warm-ups 10 minutes, dynamic movements. You want to simulate some movements, so like leg swings are good, lunges, squatting. A lot of us work a lot of desk jobs, so I find really like focusing in on the hips, the ankles, and the low back and the shoulders really open everything up. And then everyone's gonna have different injuries, different body types, and different nagging parts they need to work on. So I spend a little extra time working on it. At the same time, I don't advocate for, if you're gonna hit pads for half an hour, you don't need to warm up for half an hour. Your warm should be 10 to 15 minutes, dynamic movements, save the static stretching for the end. And really like prime your entire body. Yeah. Right.
So how important do you think those static stretches are after? Like, you think they're necessary? You think someone needs to cool down?
I think they're, for me, especially as I've gotten older, the body creaks a little bit more. So I find if I don't static stretch, if I don't do like not nice long stretches, sitting in a deep squat, Jefferson curls are great. Dead hangs are really helpful for my shoulders, especially holding pads all day. If I don't do that consistently after my workouts, the next 2-3 days, I'm cooked. It takes me like a good half an hour to get it back. So the more consistent you are with your warm-ups and your stretches, the less time you need to spend on each day if you're consistent, rather than taking 2 days off and then you need to warm up for like 45 minutes beforehand, right? Keep it consistent, get into a routine, and that'll be the best thing for your body.
Appreciate that. Thanks for that. The sessions, Coach. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of cool down routine that I do now, but yeah, let's stay tuned for that. So this is how I like to cool down after a session, because I notice if I don't do this, and if most of my clients don't do this, they're pretty sore and tight into the next day, right? So the big key areas that I find we need to focus on are the glutes, the hamstrings, and the hip flexors. A little bit of groin too, obviously, but those are 3 areas I feel like people don't work enough. So I'm gonna walk you through what I like to focus on when you're cooling down. Now, when you're cooling down, you wanna focus a little bit more on static stretching. So in the warm-up, we focus on dynamic. This one, we focus more on static stretching. You want to do that after, because research shows if you do static stretching before, it can actually increase your risk of injury and reduce performance. So here we go. Here's number 1. So first thing that we're going to do, real simple, just like your typical pigeon pose, right? So you're going to get into that pigeon pose. I like to kind of like sit into it on the side. I don't really care how much this leg turns. And then from here, first, you're just holding, hanging out, taking that deep breath for 60 seconds. If you can, that's when you're gonna come down onto your elbows. So you're gonna take about 1 minute here. You wanna do a deep inhale and exhale. Each exhale, try to get a little further. Going to the other side. Okay, so that's number 1. Now number 2, what I like to do, a little bit of a static hip flexor stretch. So from here, you're gonna try to get your ribs down, squeeze this back leg glute, and then from that back leg glute, you're gonna drive forward, maintain that neutral pelvis, and this is where we're gonna hold for about 60 seconds. So same thing here, you wanna take that deep breath, push a little bit further. Every time you exhale, you don't just wanna hang out and really hold your breath, because that's teaching your nervous system that you're not really quite safe in this position, right? So if you really wanna unlock that, take an audible inhale, and then you're gonna exhale after that. So after you've done about 60 seconds of that, we'll go to the other side. And same thing here, if you have a leg that's tighter, so for me, my right hip is a little tighter, you can take a little bit extra time. So instead of just 1 minute, you can spend about 90 seconds. You can even spend up to 2 minutes. So 2 minutes is actually like the threshold for the maximum gains from static stretching. 1 minute is also good, but it starts to kind of plateau. So this is around 1 minute, and at 2 minutes, you get the max benefit. And then after that, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So in case you're ever wondering how long you should hold it for, that's the research behind that. Static frog stretch. So that's to open up the groin after you're done. So you just hold up here, feet ideally in line with your knees. Try to maintain that anterior pelvic tilt. And you're just gonna go back as much as you can. Same thing here, you wanna take that deep breath, inhale, and exhale. So it's like the Kim Kardashian, right? You wanna maintain that kind of that Instagram model pose. You don't wanna really be like here, because that might even cause some pinching. So if you're ever getting some pinching in any of these positions, you want to really arch up like that. Same thing here, 60 seconds. Number 4, standing hamstring stretch. Same kind of idea that we did up there, right? So you want to ideally maintain that alignment. You're gonna reach for your toes, hang out here for about 60 seconds. Now, when you take a deep breath here, inhale, and then exhale. Try to get a little bit further into it. Now, ideally, like right now, I'm trying to face the camera, but ideally, you want to be dead on. Then reaching like that. Now lock that knee out. Then we do the other side. So that's exactly how you should warm up and cool down for pads and sessions for Muay Thai. Now, if you had a hard time following along with that whole video, you're in luck. So I have an entire PDF spreadsheet kind of resource that walks you through exactly what that warm up and that cool down was. So it has how many reps to do, how many sets to do, how long the whole lead stretch for. So if you want that, just to make it easier for you, so you don't have to sit there taking notes, just comment routine. I'll send it to you. Comment routine in the comments below, and I'll send that right over to you. But that's pretty much it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found some value for that. And if you did, make sure you leave subscribe and follow me on Instagram as well for more tips like that at prav.physio4fighters. So there you go. That's all. And let's unlock some head kicks.